Dave Lew, a St. Jude hero for almost a decade now, started running the St. Jude Memphis Marathon because of a friend who knew what it was like to be devastated by cancer.
The story starts 9 years ago where I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and we had a really good friend who unfortunately was diagnosed with a glioblastoma brain tumor. And she was 30 years old and she had a son who was just turning one. And when her diagnosis came through, one of the things that she told us as her friends were, this was devastating to me. And she had known about St. Jude, and she said, as long as I'm going through treatment, I'm going to turn to St. Jude to say, how can I help kids who get the same diagnosis, who don't know what to do? And she said, let's go run a race together in Memphis. And we ended up getting involved with the first St. Jude Memphis Marathon 9 years ago. And that's when I became a hero for the first time. I run for Team Alicia, and Alicia Smith, she has since passed away from her brain cancer that ended up taking her life as she went through it. But we run in her legacy, and our team together is comprised of 9 faithful people that come together every year as almost a recognition of the anniversary to celebrate her and her life. But also to say what we're doing to raise funds, which have now surpassed, like I said, that $100,000 mark, which is huge for us as a team. When we first started running, we're like, we don't know if we'll be back. But when you go through the race, and this is what the heroes will tell everybody, you can go run Chicago Marathon, New York City Marathon, and it's great. You get the feeling of being in a city. But when you leave that city, you've left that city. When you go to St. Jude, you're part of that city. And unlike other races where you go and you just run the race and you're trying to finish, running St. Jude, running through the hospital, seeing the people, the patients, the families, the nurses, the doctors, the support staff along the route that are cheering you along, and then physically running with other parents whose children are going through treatment at St. Jude, it draws a different chord for me because it's the emotional piece that you also have to factor in. And you can't train for emotions. You can't train for the tears that come out when you're running through the campus. And so although the physical pain comes through when you're running that race, the emotional, just like heartwarming, like tugging at your heart is something that you can't prepare for. I think everybody has a story of why they come to St. Jude. For me, setting foot in Memphis was an experience when I did my first marathon that was unlike anything else. And for me, it's something that I just instantly fell in love with. And it was something that just hit a chord in my own heart where it's like, why wouldn't you be involved with St. Jude?
I'm Caleb Suggs, and this has been St. Jude Soundbites, stories of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital told by patients, parents, donors, volunteers, and others.